Here's a few of my college drawings from 2008 and further back. This was a 1970s style table and lamp, and it was a lot of fun to make this kind of turn out okay. The metal was fun to make it have a high contrast shine, and the table had its own wood textures, and that was also interesting. Getting the tabletop to fade into the distance was difficult. I remember having trouble with that, and what I should have done was use my point perspective plane, and that helps reshape things that go into the distance. That's something I was still working on and trying to incorporate, and it was a little difficult with rounded corners and looking at a table that was in its diamond shape with, you know, two corners pointing north and south on the page. I did enjoy doing the shadow under the table, kind of putting that down and having the light source reflect back towards me. So the shadow was coming to the left. I guess on the page it'd be south and southwest for the shadow placement. Otherwise, that was a good exercise to try and draw a table almost from top down, but at an angle, and something with texture, something with shadow, something with shine, and to kind of put it all together. Be able to tell the surface types just by the shading. This was actually a jean textured purse. It was my handbag, basically, and I really liked it. I wore it until it literally fell apart. Everything just started unraveling. But it had a lot of jean corduroy texture, and the bottom of the bag had leather. So I really tried to shade for that. The strap was leather, but it had a whole bunch of those hole punch grommets in it, and a really thick metal zipper on top. It was just kind of a cool biker chick bag, almost. But it was small. It was meant for kids, juniors or something, and I just really liked it. I had found it at a thrift store, so I enjoyed doing this one because I knew the bag so well. This is just your basic old-fashioned landline phone. Not even, you know, cordless. It was as is. I did not draw the cord very well. I kept it extremely simple. Didn't even separate the pieces. You can see it's just one line. I did add shadows of where there were separations and kind of overlapped a couple of the coiling. But other than that, I mostly just quickly did this. I didn't find any interest at all in drawing this phone. But the fact that I didn't draw it very well kind of shows me that I need to be interested in something to draw, or I need to try harder. Probably try harder. This phone was basic off-white color, and there was nothing really to do with this, to say about it, other than try harder. This would have been all right in a quick animation where someone just picks up a phone. This was a glass bottle drink. These used to be around a lot. Now I don't see them at all. It's just basically a fruit juice drink by a company. I absolutely don't see these in the stores anymore. But it was a cool bottle because the glass had its own kind of critter shape and textures at the top. And the label was almost printed right on the glass. I'm sure there was a sticker, but there was nothing for me to peel off. So it was really a cool bottle. And the metal screw top lid. Obviously I needed to work on keeping things symmetrical. When drawing glass bottles, everything should be mostly symmetrical. I did display that it was clear and translucent. I should have worked on the bottom translucency to see the bottom inside of the glass bottle. And obviously things are crooked. But you get the idea of what it is. The shading's not that great though. This was a really easy, most artists are drawing in their room, is where their desk is, or they're near somewhere where they take a nap and they got a pillow or something. So this was super easy to just grab a pillow and punch the heck out of it and then try and draw what you see. And that was pretty nifty because pillows are very pliable and they create a lot of shadows. Yeah, as long as the pillowcase is light and obviously catches the light in the room and you can see some shadows with it. It's a good exercise tool to draw with. You also never know what shape's going to come out. The one on top looks like, like a witch's face or some kind of goblin. And then one in the middle, who knows what the heck that is. And, you never know. The one on the bottom looks like a penguin that's like crouched down and going to pounce to his left. So you can see creatures or critters or something with pillows. If you're having a hard time creating something from scratch and just scribbling on a page to see if you see a creature in it or a character or an idea is not working for you, you can always take a pillow and just smash it around. And as long as it's fluffy enough, if it's too stiff, it's not going to work. So obviously get a feather pillow with a white pillowcase, and you never know what's going to pop up. This was a chair. I did not like how I drew this chair. If I could redraw it, I would. The structure of it looks like it's falling forward, but the cushion is jammed up towards the back of the seat. And I almost shaded a lion's face on the fabric. I don't like any of it. The shading on the legs is non-existent. The texture on the wooden arms is pathetic. There's no shadow under the chair. I think I just gave up or didn't feel very good, drawing at the time. It wasn't my moment. Not much of this is great, but if you can teach yourself to structurally draw twisted objects that have depth and shading and texture with different surface textures, then the more you practice this, and yes, 70s furniture does it. That's the hardest stuff to draw. It's the weirdest stuff to even sit on or look at. So that's a good drawing exercise, is find your grandparents' old furniture. I also took an online course before I went to the colleges in Oregon and Arizona. And the online course was the Art Instructions Schools of Minnesota. And they had a lot of hands-on old-fashioned drawing. And I, at the time, like a nerd, wanted to get on the computer and learn 3D art. Well, as soon as I got to the college to do 3D art, I missed the real art. I got really sick of sitting there working on programs and clicking buttons and creating stuff that I couldn't tangibly touch. And it really kind of got to me. I can create 3D art. It's just so easily deleted, lost in a computer. It could be aged out of existence by upgrades to the software programs or the computer, or something could happen to the hard drive. I mean, yes, even paper artwork can get damaged or lost, but usually that's not the case. I got a box full of stuff I've drawn, and that stuff never goes away. So in this school, one of the exercises was to draw these different angles of a mouth. Two of them have teeth showing, one did not, and they were basic people's mouths. It looks like different ages. Two of them are kind of smiling. One is not, more of a relaxed mouth. There's two angles for an eye drawing exercise. And obviously one is staring directly at the artist or the viewer, and the other one is looking on to the left. These were fun. I got really good at this because I practiced several times looking at the examples that I was to draw, which were, they looked just like these. I got so good at it. When I turned it in, they said I shouldn't copy. Well, that means I had done it so well that they thought I traced it, and I hadn't, so I should probably do a sketch while showing what I'm looking at and drawing it, and prove that I'm not copying. Tracing would be like literally putting my page on top of the original with a light source behind it and just drawing over it. That's cheating, unless you're supposed to trace it and you're being paid to trace it. This was also a drawing exercise of a Siamese cat. This was before I actually owned a Siamese cat, and it's kind of funny how similar she looks to this drawing. And the eye was difficult at the time. I had trouble drawing the eye. But the eye literally did scoop open towards the nose of the cat. It's a little exaggerated. So is the distance between the eye and the bridge of the nose. But overall, the cat is fairly on target with the original image. I don't think I have any of the original work from that online or snail mail school. Sorry, it wasn't an online school. It was all by mail. So I'd get an envelope of the exercises to do and then do them and turn them back in. So this was fun. I was learning to try and shade cat fur, and you can tell I did circular squiggles. And that's it for some of the college drawings and sketches. I wanted to share these because they would help with different exercises to do to increase your perspective and awareness and your skills. So if you go back through, you can find why each of them were kind of interesting to work on. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.